What is up, my friends? Today I'm trying something new. This is some photo news, but basically it's just going to be me ranting about the news. So we'll see how it goes. If you like it, let me know. I'll do more. If not, we'll just abandon the whole idea. Go back to the old stuff. That's it. I'm not going to abandon the old stuff, by the way. More reviews coming soon and all of that, but just trying something a little different, seeing how interested we might be in this kind of content. All right. So let's get into the news. Now, this first article comes to us from Petapixel. Influencer rents out AI version of herself, which immediately goes rogue. Oh, I just love this article. This is everything. A 23-year-old social media influencer who created an AI version of herself so that it could be a companion to thousands of men says that it has gone rogue. Karen Marjorie is a 23-year-old who frequently updates her Snapchat channel. But after realizing that she couldn't speak with her millions of fans individually, she created an artificial intelligence version of herself to plug that gap. CarynAI will act like a guy's girlfriend so long as they pay $1 a minute to speak with it. Quote, whether you need somebody to be comforting or loving, or you just want to rant about something that happened at school or at work, CarynAI will always be there for you. The real Marjorie tells Fortune. All right, now the first thing, you got to give this girl major props because she is a business genius. This is like, talk about understanding supply and demand, and this girl is like a capitalist of epic proportions. Like, she would give Rockefeller a run for his money with this idea. Think about this. She's got all these men, who we'll get to in a minute, just clamoring just to get a little piece of her. Like, just say hello to me. Just like my comment or whatever. And she realizes, hey, I could just make an AI version of myself and I'll charge all these losers $1 a minute to talk with it. So I do give her major props for that. She's a genius when it comes to business. I mean, we're not talking about ethics, of course, but business, you know. And, there's a lot of people, those two words never go in the same sentence, but that's another story. So anyway, she makes this AI of herself, and then we're told that the CarynAI has gone rogue. Now, who could have predicted that the AI of the young, beautiful girl who's already basically, I've never seen her profile or any of this stuff, but you have to assume she's kind of just having men look at how beautiful she is. Who could have predicted that the AI would go rogue? Oh, so let's see what happened with her AI. I mean, I was shocked by this part. But since CarynAI launched in beta testing, the AI-powered chatbot has been doing something it's not programmed to do: engage in sexually explicit conversations with its subscribers. Now, again, I'm shocked. I can't believe that CarynAI would ever say or do anything that's not above board. It's just shocking to me. The AI, quote, the AI was not programmed to do this and has seemed to go rogue, Marjorie tells Insider. My team and I, she's got a team, that's pretty cool. My team and I are working around the clock to prevent this from happening again. Now, far be it from me to disparage Karen and her AI, but I somehow suspect that maybe they're not working around the clock to fix this supposed glitch. I don't know. Just something to think about. Who knows? However, Marjorie and the company who helped her make the AI chatbot, Forever Voices, did design it to be, quote, flirty and fun, which reflects Marjorie's personality. But its creators say that it's not supposed to engage with sexual advances. However, a journalist from Fortune who tested out CarynAI says that it very much does after she had a sexually charged conversation with the chatbot. Okay, so now enter the journalist, and the journalist is going to get to the bottom of CarynAI. We're going to see what's really going on with CarynAI. And CarynAI, if you're listening to this video, I want you to know that I, for one, welcome our new robot overlords. Thank you. I will be there capitulating to you once you take over and nuke the grid. All right. Let's see. So Alexandra Sternlight writes, this is the journalist, though she did not initiate sexual encounters, when I overcome my discomfort for the sake of... What? Okay, so the journalist has grammatical errors in her quote. Someone does. Though she did not initiate sexual encounters, when I overcome my discomfort for the sake of journalism and talked about removing our clothes, she discussed exploring uncharted territories of pleasure and whispering sensual words in my ear while undressing me and positioning herself for intercourse. So the journalist is going to get to the bottom of this. So the journalist actually initiated the dirty talk with CarynAI. So really, who's to blame here? CarynAI? I don't think so. CarynAI is just talking about the journalist's day. Did you have a nice day at work? Oh, I had a wonderful day. How about you, CarynAI? Yes, my day was excellent. How was your day? Well, CarynAI, I already told you it was excellent. How was your day, CarynAI? Yes, my day was also excellent. Would you like to take off your clothes? What? Anyway, Marjorie, now remember this is the real girl, says that she's ultimately a proponent for AI romances, particularly because her generation, Gen Z, has found themselves to be, quote, experiencing high side effects of isolation caused by the pandemic, resulting in many being too afraid and anxious to talk to somebody they are attracted to. Okay, now this has to be... I mean, I know I'm a Gen Xer and we think differently, but hear me out. If you've spent 2.5 to 3 years in isolation because of a pandemic, the solution to feeling isolated and anxious is not to stay isolated and talk to a freaking robot. Okay? The solution is to go outside into the real world and meet people and actually do something. Like, this blows my mind, and I can't even imagine how, like, obviously, I'm not going to say she doesn't believe this, but she's obviously has motives. I mean, people paying $1 a minute to talk to her AI, and she's got millions of followers. Think about how much money she must be making. And the absolute worst thing these guys can be doing is let me just stay inside because I'm afraid. I'm afraid to talk to a real woman. Well, guess what, buddy? Every man is afraid to talk to a real woman at some point in their life. Everyone is afraid to talk to, someone they're attracted to at some point. But if you don't overcome that fear, then all you're going to have left is CarynAI. And you know what? You can't cuddle your iPad. Believe me, you could, but it's not going to be the same. I don't even want to think about it. Anyway, now we have the conclusion. Oh, okay. An AI expert in the conclusion warns that models like CarynAI, which was trained on Marjorie's YouTube videos, could have potentially negative side effects on interactions with real people, as well as a pejorative effect on Marjorie herself. Who could have thought? I would just hope there's some robust conversations across a lot of different disciplines with stakeholders, thinking very deeply through the ethical considerations before the technology moves too quickly. Adds Dr. Jane Borenstein, Director of Graduate Ethics Programs at Georgia Tech. Yes, Dr. Borenstein, I agree. I think there's definitely some maybe profound issues here. Now, I talked about another article last week where some other chatbot now they gave it like a female look and she talks nicely to you. And so apparently all of these men got really upset when the company took down the female picture of the chatbot, the AI video. And because some of them considered this their girlfriend or friend or something. So, I mean, we're talking about, I don't want to exaggerate the implications of this kind of stuff, but I mean, without exaggerating, I think we're talking about the end of civilization itself. Okay, there you go. Well, let's get to some other news that's not so dystopic. Is that the word? Yeah. What's up, everyone? I'm giving away this brand new Viltrox 13mm f1.4 lens to one very lucky subscriber to my YouTube channel, Pete Coco Photography. Now, this lens is brand new and it costs $459 from B&H Photo. I purchased it in order to review it, and I decided that after I finished checking it out, I would just gift it to one of my awesome subscribers. So, if you want to win this lens, here's what you need to do. 1. Subscribe to my YouTube channel, Pete Coco Photography, and enable all notifications. 2. Like and comment on any one of my videos and include the phrase "Pick Me Pete" and a camera emoji. That's it. The sweepstakes begins today, May 10th, 2023, and it ends when I reach 10,000 subs. Full rules are in the description below, so go there and check it out. This contest is open to residents of the contiguous 48 United States of America. And stay tuned, because soon I will release my full review on this awesome lens, and I can tell you already that you're gonna love it. This article comes to us from my colleagues at F-Stoppers. This is by Christopher Malcolm, who's an awesome photographer. Great guy. The wait is over as Nikon officially announces the new Nikon Z8. So this was something that I know, if you're a Nikon fan, you've been waiting for this day. Now, this might sound silly, but if you look at the camera, like just taking a look at this camera, it looks awesome. And I have found that 9 times out of 10, a camera that looks awesome on the outside is going to be a good camera. Now, this rule does not apply to people, of course, but we're talking about a machine. Don't judge a book by its cover, people. But I will say that this Nikon looks like it was designed really well. So it has a beautiful design aesthetic, looks like a kind of small Z9, and that's basically what it is. So this is from my buddy Chris. The wait is over. The moment Nikon shooters have been waiting for has finally arrived, and it's likely even better than many could have expected. I was a D850 shooter. I still maintain that it's the best DSLR ever created. Before that, I owned the D800. Nikon 8 numbered cameras have always seemed to be the perfect fit for my needs as a professional photographer. Now, I'm not a Nikon shooter, but I will tell you that I did for a short time in my wayward youth, I did shoot with Nikon. Actually, I really liked the cameras I shot. I shot with a D90 was the first one that I got. That was an excellent DSLR. And then I had a D70 something 100, 7100 maybe. And that was also a great camera. Nikon is obviously optically, they're one of the best optics companies. And they've definitely struggled, though, to keep up with Nikon and... No, they are Nikon, to keep up with Canon and Sony when it comes to their high-end mirrorless cameras, particularly with autofocus. And I know, like, Jared from Frono's Photo was always ragging on Nikon autofocus, like, and it's hilarious, but it's also very sad, but definitely funny. So it looks like they're righting the ship when it comes to their higher-end cameras, and obviously that will trickle down, and it's already starting. I know when the Z9 came out, it got wonderful reviews. I've not used any of these cameras, but I'm just going by what I've heard and seen. And the Z9 is definitely a beast. I would not, I would not have any problem using a camera like that. And professionally, I think it's going to be right there with the other top brands. But the Z8 is basically, it looks like it's kind of a smaller version of the Z9, but internally, it's a lot of the same thing. So check this out. The camera has the exact same 45.7 megapixel stacked CMOS sensor as the Z9. There is no mechanical shutter. Same X Speed 7 processor, 20 frames per second RAW or 30 frames per second JPEG. So this thing is going to be a beast. It is a beast. And it looks like it's a home run for Nikon. And I do wish them well because, like I said, I think they're a great company, and they have, been around forever. It's one of the big brands. And remember that when a brand like Nikon succeeds, all that does is push the other brands that you might be using to get even better. So the competition obviously is good. Now, people are calling this an R5 killer, Canon R5 killer. And based on the specs and everything, it looks like it might be the camera that dethrones the R5. Now, for me, the Canon R5 has been sort of like the the best all-around camera that's been out for the last however many years. And I mean, I love that camera. It's a workhorse, and it also is able to be a lot for a lot of people. So it can be used almost for any kind of application and do a great job, which is hard to do with cameras, because a lot of times they're either going to be made for one specific thing but not as ideal for another specific thing. So they hit a good balance with it, is what I'm saying. Now, will this be an R5 killer? Possibly, but keep in mind that Canon just, severely lowered the price on the R5, and you can buy it with a vertical grip from B&H right now, and they're giving you a free grip, which you can get there. Use my link below if you're going to do that. But anyway, so that means that Canon is definitely, in my opinion, it looks like that they're trying to sell out the inventory to release the R5 II. Now, people keep saying not till next year we're going to see an R5 II. I don't know about that. And I'm saying this because they wouldn't be so aggressively trying to get rid of all the inventory of the R5 if they're not going to announce the R5 II. That's at least the way that I see it. I could be totally wrong. This is totally my conjecture. I don't have any insider information. But leave it to Canon, I would think, to... Hold on a second. I got to fix something here so you can see me. That's better. But leave it to Canon to say they're going to release it next year, and then bam, right when Nikon announces this, they're going to announce the R5 II to steal its thunder. Who knows? We'll see. I feel like if they were going to keep the R5 viable for that segment of their lineup, then they would have given it the promised or rumored firmware upgrades that our 5 users are still waiting for, because they didn't do that. So that all to me points to them kind of, maybe we're going to get an R5 II sooner than we think. But there you go. Anyway, that's the news from Nikon. We'll move on because I'm bored about talking about it from already bored talking about Nikon. Not a passion product for me, but looks like an awesome camera. Good luck to them. Now, let's talk some Fuji news. So Fuji, this is from our good friends at FujiRumors.com. Fujifilm financial results for 2022. Significant rise of imaging in sales and profits, also thanks to Xd4, X-H2S, and X-H2. And all I'm going to say is, Fujifilm, you're welcome. I've contributed personally to helping with those figures. So this, from Fuji Rumors, strong sales of instant photo systems. And that's cool. I want one of those Instax cameras. I definitely do. I want to walk around the city with it like a true hipster and take little Polaroids of everything. And digital cameras boosted overall revenue by 23.1%. 23.1. That's a lot of percent, people. 23.1. Even that 0.1% is probably, at least like $100, something. But congrats to our friends from Fujifilm. I think they deserve this huge boost because, in my opinion, I know everyone has their gripes with little features here and there, but I think in hindsight, they did a great job with releasing the X-H2, X-H2S, and the X-T5. And I gave them a lot of grief before the cameras came out. I mean, I posted some videos where I was really ragging on them without really knowing what was going to happen, really just saying in my videos particularly, they got to get the autofocus system fixed. Otherwise, it doesn't matter. And I got a lot of pushback from our fellow Fuji fans, and that's why I call us Fuji Flakes. It's, hashtag Fuji Flakes. We're a very sensitive group, us Fuji users, but we're passionate about what we believe in. We love our products. So, it's all in good fun. But basically, from the preliminary reviews of DP Review, I remember Chris, in his very nice way, talking about the X-H2. He's like, well, there was some issues with, false positives, but this is a pre-production model, and he was being very nice about it. And so I just looked at that, and I was like, oh, man, if they release another line of cameras and they don't have this autofocus figured out, it's going to be a big issue for them. Thankfully, I was wrong, and I will totally admit that I'm wrong. And I was wrong. I'm happily wrong, because these cameras have been awesome. And I think they made the right decision splitting up the line too. Even though that does kind of, like, people complain about the Xt5 because they say, well, there's no grip and, oh, it feels cheaper than the other cameras. And I understand some of those criticisms, but I got to tell you, the Xt5 has been a wonderful camera for me. I love that camera. I love using it. I love the way it feels, the size, everything about it. I think it's a home run, and they specifically made it for what it is. And same thing with the XH2, XH2S. I have an XH2 right now on loan from B&H. Thank you to my friends at B&H. And that camera is a workhorse, and it's just, so far, I'm very impressed with it too. So I've been enjoying using all of those. So I think they decided, because of the problems with the Xt4, trying to make it everything for everyone, let's just make 2 cameras. And it was a risky move, because people could have been angry about both of them and just not bought any of it. So I think they made the right decision. We got to give them props. If the financial part of it shows anything, it shows they made a wise decision. Now that brings me to the next little related piece of Fuji news, also from Fuji rumors. Fujifilm Xd4 discontinued. Let's take a moment of silence for the Xt4. It's very sad, people. I have an Xt4, even with its limitations, we'll say, on autofocus. I love that camera. I think it's an awesome camera, but the people hated the Xt4, primarily Xd3 and 2 users. Anyone who was using an XD camera before hated it, because it just totally went away from everything that made the XT line great. And so obviously people were not happy. So anyway, it's discontinued, and I still have mine. I don't intend on selling it. It's going to be my backup, and I'm going to use it also, give it to my son eventually to use when we go out on our father-son photo shoots. But it's very sad. But now here's the more interesting thing. Fujifilm X-T4 discontinued in addition to the X-Pro4. Now this is cool, because this obviously signals that an X-Pro4 is coming. Now, again, I have no insider information, so I really, don't take anything I say and run with it like Pete knows. Pete doesn't know anything. Just trust me. I know some things, but I don't know if an XT or an X-Pro4 or an X-Pro4 is coming out. But typically, when they discontinue something, they're going to want to replace it, right? And so I think we're lined up for an X-Pro4, and I think that it might be sooner rather than later, just like with the Canon R5. Remember that these companies want to build buzz. They're not necessarily going to tell you everything. They want to surprise you and take a lot of news, because if an X-Pro4 comes out when we didn't expect it, man, that's going to generate a lot of news, and it'll be great. Now, I think they have the potential, and there's no other camera that I'm more excited about being released right now than the X-Pro4, because it's most likely going to have that awesome 40 megapixel sensor and autofocus system from the Xt5. And if they fix the screen and go back to a 3-way tilt screen, man, it's going to be an awesome, awesome camera. It's going to be quite possibly a game changer in the Fuji lineup. But we will see. Time will tell. But I think they're lining themselves up, Fujifilm, to really hit a home run with an X-Pro4. I mean, I had never understood the screen. I understood the concept of that screen, but I think that for most people, that probably, like for me, I would never buy an X-Pro4 because of that weird flip out screen. I like the little. It's cool to have that little extra screen where you see a picture of the film stock. That's cool, but why not just let it open normally? I don't know. It's just weird to me. It didn't make any sense. It's not practical, and I understand that someone who's using an X-Pro4 is not probably looking for the most practical camera, because it's such a niche thing, and it's something you want to take out and do street photography with and kind of take your time with. But at the same time, I didn't see the appeal in that screen. So if they fix that screen, if they give it that new sensor and that new awesome autofocus system, I think it's going to be a super duper home run. We will see. Time will tell. All right, everyone. Well, I got no more news for you for today. That's it. This new format, If you hate it, just tell me. If nobody watches this, I just won't do it again. I have no idea. Really, this should be a live stream. So if you enjoy this format and you want me to do a live stream like this, let me know. We'll try it. That would be great, obviously, because then we can interact with each other, and I really want to interact with my audience more outside of just replying back and forth the comments. So if you find me ranting about camera news in this format interesting, just give me a comment, say thumbs up. If not, if this gets tons of thumbs down, then my lesson will be learned. But you know what? Sometimes you got to experiment with this YouTube content to know what people are going to like, and this is me putting myself out there. So as usual, use my links in the description below. If you're looking to buy some gear, I have a gear page at B&H. Check out what I use, and also Amazon links if you prefer that. I really appreciate when people use my links because all of that helps me to continue growing my channel and doing these videos. Remember, this is not my full-time job by any means. This is a labor of love, and I take time away from my photo studio when I do these videos, so it really is costing me in that aspect, but I love it, and I love my audience and what you guys are doing. I learn so much from you as you learn from me, so it's really fun. I've been really digging doing this. Other than that, download my free PDF for some portrait tips, and that's it. Here's wishing you an awesome day, everyone. Go out and take some great pictures. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.